Good morning, good afternoon, good day, everyone, wherever you are. TESOL International Association English as a Foreign Language Intersection, the EFLIS, is pleased to present this webinar titled Bridging the Gap Between Teaching General and Business English in EFL. Our wonderful speaker is Marisa Huacho from Peru, and we are very pleased to welcome all of you to this webinar. My name is Araceli Salas, and I am the current chair of the EFL-IS. And I will be your moderator for today's event. Today's presentation will last 60 minutes and includes a question and answer period. To enter a question, simply type your question into the box on the lower left side of your screen and then click on the send button. And now it is my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Marisa Huacho, who is in Peru, and I saw that she has a slide introducing herself, so I will let her introduce herself. Thank you, Marisa. Thank you from all of us in the EFLIS. And well, the screen is yours. The screen or the stage?
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm very, very happy to share with you today. So my presentation, as you can see in the slide, it is about some information between what it takes to move from teaching general English to business English. And also talking about some myths that we have, that people have, teachers have, and now we're going to try to work them out, okay? But before starting with the topic, I would like to let you know a little more about me, about myself. So here, okay, I'm sharing my slide. As you can see, it is me here. You see the flag, proudly Peruvian, from South America. And now here I have some information to share. So then, I just decided to mention 4 things, okay? Okay, to avoid doing it so long. So then, well, hello, who am I? I'm Maria Isabel Huacho. People call me Marisa, so I am pleased to hear that, but my full name is Maria Isabel. I'm a passionate teacher trainer. I'm a curious EFL English and business English teacher. I'm a loving mother and a long life learner. And last but not least, I am a thoughtful and loyal person. So I didn't write it in order of importance because, well, you know, family. But I just wanted to concentrate in 4 items, what I think is my essence and my identity. So then I hope you can like it. Now, before passing to the next, I want you to guess some things about my life, okay? So it says, you can see 6 pictures, and these are pictures that say something about my past, my present, and my future, okay? So then I would like you to guess which ones are about my past. You just tell me the name of the item. You don't need to tell me the story. Which items do you think are about my past? You can unmute yourself and speak, or just, if you prefer, write in the chat. Oh, thank you, Paola. Okay, the suitcase, the past. Okay, Gerlin. Jermaine, the planner is past. Okay, like 4 people say the agenda. Okay, my planner is part of from my past. Okay, so then I will let you know. So sorry to tell you, but okay, the suitcase is part of my past. Why is it part of my past? Because, you know, we have New Year's tradition in my country. And well, as the pandemic is present this year, I couldn't have the opportunity to take my suitcase all around the block. But what I did, I tried to do it just inside my house, okay? But I tried to continue with the tradition. So that is why it is my past. Now, the other one, I let you know, the other one that is my past is this yoga mat that you can see here at the bottom right, well, my bottom right. And why it is past? Because, what do you think? Why do you think? Why do you think the yoga mat can be my past or part of my past? Okay. I'm reading. Thank you very much. Here they are talking about the roller pin. It's about my present. Oh, yes. Yeah, okay, thank you. I don't have time to do yoga. That's a good guess. That's a good guess. No more yoga classes and online yoga doesn't work. Well, in fact, guys, the yoga mat is something I didn't use exactly for yoga, but I tried to use it to start to take up some exercise. You know, I'm not a very sportive person, and I said, okay, I'm going to use this time I have at home and I'm going to start taking up exercises, but I couldn't. Sorry, but I gave up after a week. So that's why it's part of my past. Sorry, I'm not sportive. What can I do? I tried. It's my essence. Okay, so then about my present. Okay, I have to say that 2 people guessed right. So then the rolling pin, yeah, because it is a new activity in my life. I started preparing some desserts with my daughter. And another that is part of my present is, what do you think is the present? The one about the present apart from the rolling pin? You can speak, you can write. I just want you to tell me which one is related to my present apart from the rolling pin. Yes?
Eating healthy.
Yes, Jermaine, the painting, the watercolors. Yes, you know. Okay, my daughter likes these watercolor paintings. So then I see her now every day because I am at home. So then I said, okay, why not? Why not trying? Because I see her doing it like very frequently. Okay. And well, I finished just telling you about the future. Well, the 2 futures you can see, the pictures are the planner and the fresh fruit salad. The planner, because I always have resolutions. So then my planner is like part of my life. Okay, I have all my ideas, all my resolutions for the year. So this is about my future and I try to use it all the time. It is part of my life. And the other one is about my future because one of my resolutions is to start to eat healthier food, definitely. I eat healthy food now, but I would like to even, okay, going deeper and deeper in this activity. Okay, so this was my activity, okay, to let you know a little bit more about myself. And now let's go down to business. Okay, we are going to the next slide. Well, here, as you can see, we have the agenda. The agenda for today is we are going to see some, well, talk about, in fact, and find out some myths about teaching business English. Then we are going to have a very brief general versus business English overview. We will also talk about business English features. Okay, and well, a little bit about teaching adult learners because you know, business English is basically okay oriented to that kind of learners. And finally, some activities that I know that you love activities, and we are going to see some activities we can adapt, okay? That maybe you use for general, you can use it for business, and how you do this, okay, process of changing from one to the other. All right, so for the next activity, the myths about teaching business English, I would like you to participate. How? Because I'm going to present some statements and you have to help me saying if you think they are true or false. So for this, you just please write and participate in the chat. I would appreciate it. So let's see. Okay, here we are. Okay, I start. Remember, this is the mechanics. So I'm going to read a statement and you tell me what you think. You can write yes or no in the chat. And then, okay, we start finding out what happens. So the first one, number 1, it says, business English classes are usually smaller than general English ones. Talking about the size, right? The number of students. What do you think? I want to read you in the chat. What do you think, please? Okay, some people say yes, some people say no. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see if the guesses are right. Well, this is true. Okay. It is true, okay? They are not always, but they are usually smaller in size than the general English ones. Why? Okay, I just tell you. First of all, there is a concept in business English that we call needs analysis. And this is something that we work with the student at the first day of class, well, with a student or with the students, depending on the group we have, can be one-to-one. And this is something that is necessary because the kind of language we teach is more specialized. So then we try to have this need analysis process. And for this purpose, having a small group is much better. Obviously, there are always exceptions, and we can have also larger groups. And also here, I just said that we have even one-to-one. Okay, I don't know if we have had that experience teaching one-to-one, not only online, but face-to-face. I had even classes of 3 hours, 3.5 hours with just one person. Can you believe? Okay, a lot. Next one. Okay, number 2. Myth number 2, business experience is essential to teach business English. Okay, I'm not talking about business teaching experience. I'm talking about business experience. Okay, be careful about that. Business experience is essential to teach business English. What do you think? You can also use the emojis if you prefer. You can write in the chat. I can see you. Okay. All right, so then what about the answer? The answer is, it is false. Some people think you need to have a major, right? In maybe business or marketing or anything related, but it's not true at all. Okay, it helps, obviously. Obviously, if you have a major, it is going to help a lot. But here, I go over the reasons. It is very important, okay, maybe you do not have the major, but to have business teaching experience. Okay, in the process, you can start getting some certifications that are internationally recognized, such as the Cert IBET or the LCCI FTB, that is the London Chamber of Commerce diploma. So then maybe you don't have this at the beginning, but in the process you start, okay, trying to find information and see which one fits you best. And also something that you cannot escape from is if you plan to change to business English, you have to do plenty of reading and familiarize with the topics, because this is really the word, do your homework, okay? Now it is really, really serious. Next one, number 3. At low levels, students basically just need general English. What do you think? True or false? Okay, I'm reading. Okay, it's false. Yes, it's false. You know, I can tell you my experience. I have had classes that they were real beginners, and we started teaching business English. We only have to adequate material, and we have to start like general English with the basics, right? But it is possible, it is. Even though some people say no, but I assure you it is possible. Okay, next one. Business English students want to talk about their work. If you can use emojis in your screen, would be great. So we use chat, we use, okay. Yeah. Thank you for participating. So then business English students want to talk about their work. Let's see, true. They like because they work in it, it's part of their lives, but there is an important but. They may tend to beat around the bush. Yeah, sometimes they start in one topic and they start talking about, I don't know, the last weekend family gathering, and then this is very common, okay? And you have to learn, okay, how to deal with that and try to make them come back, okay, and keep on the topic that we prepared for that day. Next one. Business English students are more motivated than general English ones. This is something I've heard a lot of times. Business English students are more motivated. Do you think so? Okay. Yeah, it is true. Okay, the motivation they have is basically extrinsic because they are in this moment of working, they want to get promoted, maybe they want to be assigned to a multinational subsidiary, right? So an international subsidiary. But there is also something that you have to consider, okay? There are some issues such as stress and tiredness, and you have to be aware of that because they can be motivated, but you know, sometimes their classes are at the end of the day after 8 hours of work. So then you have to be really, really, okay, active, dynamic, and prepare good material so then they can get the motivation from you too. We are just getting to the end. Business English lessons are more formal, so you cannot use games in your classes. What do you think? Some people say, okay, business English people, they are managers, they are, okay, CEOs. What about using games? Some people say, no, they are adults, they are grown-ups. What do you think? Everything I tell you here is based on information, obviously, but also on my experience. And I can tell you that it is false. Okay, I have had CFOs, CEOs working with me and enjoying a lot using games in my class. It was like their moment of relaxing while using English, of course, while improving their skills, but they were very happy to have this moment of distress, right? Now here I just mentioned some issues. When we talk about games and gamification, please make sure you are aware of the educational aims. Okay, you need to have objectives. Games are not just passing games that you use in other scenarios to the class. No, you have to focus on elements, the components of the games, not exactly the games. For example, the ASR, the design, the visual, okay, maybe this scoring system, these elements, okay? And then you transfer them to your work, to your activities, and then you make a good mix. Next one, 7, students reading texts about their area of business is the best kind of practice for their work. So when we talk about business English, people say, okay, yeah, let's use a text or reading from a journal, and they are going to learn a lot. What do you think? Just reading texts? They are authentic material, by the way. Okay, it is false. Readings can help, definitely enhance the vocabulary skill, okay, the vocabulary improvement, but business people, they want to, okay, be able to speak, to manage certain skills. In this case, I put not only language, but professional skills such as presenting, such as negotiating, and other things related. And the last one, business English textbooks aren't as often used as general English textbooks. What do you think? Because when we're talking general English and you work in a language institute or in a school, I think a very high percent probability that you are using a textbook, or yes, I think. Well, in business English, we also have textbooks, but most of the material is tailor-made. Okay, so that means hours and hours of work. And I don't mean that general English teachers do not do that, because I know we all do a lot of work, but I mean, it is tailor-made, sometimes just focus on one person, on one particular skill they want to improve. And this is why we are also material writers. Well, here we finished our myths section. And now we're going back to the next part of the agenda. Please, if you want to comment something. Okay, thank you. Here I see, thank you, Rhea, Paola, Base, and Aldair. Okay, for your participation. I'm very happy to see you. Okay. Well, We continue with our agenda. The next part is about the general versus business English overview. Okay. Well, here I tried to make like a brief summary because we have a lot of things to do about it, but this is like the basics, okay? So then general English, of course, you know, everybody knows, focuses on skills, the 4 skills, integrated skills, plus grammar, plus vocabulary. And business English, it focuses more on a specialized vocabulary. I mean, we also work on skills, we also work on speaking, reading, writing, but this is like the highest percentage of attention is okay towards vocabulary. We have to use this vocabulary within a context. And it's not just any context, like in general that we can use real life. No, we have to use business context, right? So then this is, we have to start looking for and trying to find material that we could adapt. Sometimes we use materials that our students gave us, such as reports, such as forms, and other stuff they use in their everyday work. And we use it and we try to transform it in material. In general English, we use monolingual dictionaries, while in business English, we use specialized monolingual dictionaries. Sometimes we need to access to, for example, maybe legal English, maybe medical English, no? Sometimes it comes, no? Or maybe marketing, okay, in business. We use, in general English, we use authentic material, but it is more frequently in higher levels. When our students get to the advanced or the high intermediate level, we start using them more. No, doesn't mean we don't use it at the beginning, but in business English, we have a higher emphasis. Why? Because we use journals, we use newspapers, financial reports, and all these things that are since the very beginning. And finally, general English, you use the context that is everyday situations. And in the business English, we have the workplace with all that it involves. Okay, so you have to, that's why I tell you, it is really hard work when you start to get familiarized with all this, what it means. It's not just going to the company or having a person, but you have to familiarize with the company you're working for, with the jobs, the position of the, well, not the kind of the student, and everything that is related to what they do in everyday workplace. Now, I'm going through business English teachers just quickly because I want to focus on the activities and I want you to help me to do that, please. Okay, so regarding the learner's profile, what happens with our learner's profile? This is what happens. They are basically adult or young adult students. Okay, they are maybe undergraduate or postgraduate or just professionals working. They obviously belong to the tertiary education. They have this extrinsic motivation. Doesn't mean that they have also the intrinsic one. And this is like our job to try to push it, right? But extrinsic comes before because they are always thinking about promotions, about maybe having a higher salary, or these kind of things, right? Then another thing that is important, I was talking to you about the needs analysis. In business English, it is very important to have the needs analysis before we start a class. And now I'm going to show you some samples, but just wait a moment. And about the teacher's role. Please, here, if I ask you for a teacher's role, I'm sure you're going to tell me lots of things. Okay, so I want you to participate. Please tell me teacher's roles. Okay, facilitator. What else? I want to read a lot. Okay, please write all the teacher's role that you can imagine. Not from business English, from teachers in general. Teachers, please. I say one, facilitator. Please. Yes. Okay. Reading. A guide, a mentor, yes. Yes. Provider, thank you, him, planner, ain't, role model, motivator, observer, feedback provider, organizer, instructor, Counselor. Sure, planner. Thank you, guys. Thank you for helping. Mentor. I like that, mentor. Mentor is something that happens in business too. Developer. German, okay. So we return. Now, here I have something to share. In the business English sector, we also have, most of them, they are similar, but what I am showing you is like the basic, right? So then here we have tutor. We are tutors because we are developing skills, as I said, maybe negotiating skills, presenting skills, writing mail skills. Facilitator, definitely, this is something that we have in common with the general English. We become material writers. As I told you, we need to prepare a lot of material just for one person or for one group, according to their particular needs. So then it's not just creating activities. We sometimes have to create the whole material, the whole manual, okay? Then that is also, that leads to being, okay, become a course designer. Researcher is something that is like key because you need to research all the time, find things, okay, be updated, being innovative, being flexible. And finally, last but not least, you are a coach. Okay, I know the word is like kind of in fashion, but I don't mean the coaching maybe like, it's the kind of coach that you are also listening to what they, their own needs, maybe not the ones from the class, but they want an ear, okay? They want to be heard. So then sometimes you have to work as a coach and listen to them and try to give them some advice. And as I told you, then bring them back because they tend to start talking about other issues. But it is important that they feel that you are empathetic, that you really care. So then it is also a role that we use a lot. Here I have some models for the needs analysis I was talking about. What is a needs analysis? Look, there are different formats. Here I just mentioned two. The first one is very simple. You have the name of the employee, their position, the training skills that they require, the major tasks they have according to their position, if they have identified some training needs or not, and how will they achieve these needs. Okay, and here the other one is more detailed. It is, it says what is the company main area of business. So what is the position of the employee or the student in the company. And here you have a lot of business skills like meetings, telephoning, socializing, sales, presentations, negotiations, reports, and you have to make some notes about what is exactly what they need. Also some topics. You have here topics that you can make a circle, what your student is more interested about to take into consideration. And then, okay, you have also grammar and other objectives. So then as you see, this is something we need to do the first day of class, even we have one-to-one or a small class. We are about to finish with the features. And this is about the methodology. Methodology is basically specialized skill-oriented because they want us to help with maybe.
Sorry to interrupt. We cannot see your screen. We have not seen the needs.
Oh. Okay, don't worry. So then I think maybe something happened. So sorry. Okay, can you see it now? Okay, I'm going back just to show the
needs analysis.
The needs analysis templates I was talking about. This one is very brief, very short, position, purpose, skills they need. And the other one is more in detail. So then they talk about what they need to learn in terms of skills and in terms of topics, and also grammar and other objectives. Okay, and here they have also information about the company, the position, what are the responsibilities, their tasks, etc. So, and this is very important because from this information, we organize and we prepare the course. We design it sometimes. Sometimes we have a book too. Okay, so then methodology, as I said, is specialized skill oriented. Okay, for presentations or writing mails or any other. There is a methodology is very important. There is a corpus-based approach. You know that corpus takes information from journals, from magazines, and the most frequent words that are used in real life, in everyday situation, but in these contexts. So then the teachers that use corpus-based approach are usually teachers that work in advanced or high intermediate. But for us, for business, it's very important since the beginning because they are the words that are more frequent in everyday life, right? But in journals and newspapers. Then we have the task-based approach, of course, they work in projects, and obviously the CLT, that is a communicative language teaching. Okay, to finish, some of the activities that we have that are more common are the case studies, the role plays, the problem solving, the simulations, and developing vocabulary through the reading of journals and specialized magazines. Maybe here, if you take a look at the list, you can recognize a role plays. It is similar to what I do in my class. Case studies a bit different, all right? So then they are special, okay, cases that they have to solve in groups. Problem solving, if you notice, some of them are like part also of the general English somehow. Problem solving is what we do when we develop critical thinking. And simulations is a little different from role play because simulations is not just pretending to have a role, but this is the real role they play in the company. So they simulate. And well, that's it. Finally, okay, because we have had enough from theory, I think we are talking about the teaching adult learners. What do we have to consider because it is a different segment? Okay, maybe we are more used to teach teenagers or kids or young adults, but the adult learners have other characteristics that we need to consider. First of all, we talk about andragogy. Okay, that is different to pedagogy, that is for young people, and andragogy is the art and science of helping adult learners to, okay, learn. Now then here in the andragogy we have who proposed this concept was Malcolm Knowles in the 1980s. And here, this is something really important. Okay, adult learners need to know why they should learn something. They need to know the objective, that the objective is achievable since the very beginning. Similar to general English, but in this case, I mean, I know that general English teachers, you write the objectives on the board and you tell your students what they are going to achieve by the end of the lesson. But in the case of adults, they are like, they pay more attention to this. They really want you to tell them what they are going to get by the end of the session. So then they work on these cases. Now they need internal motivation. This is something we work together, teachers and learners. They want to know how learning will help them. So we are talking about learning styles, maybe techniques, strategies. They are very open. So then you can tell them, or you can just try to give them different material and see what suits them better. They do not only bring prior knowledge, but they also bring experience, work experience, life experience, because they have lived more. So then they love being asked about it and try to contribute to the team when it is necessary and to be like the source, no? The source in the class, not just the teacher. They like to be the source too. And finally, they are self-directed and want to take charge of the learning journey. So then they want to be responsible. They want to be part of the process. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so then the task-oriented learning is what they find more relevant. And this is something we need to align with their own realities. No, it's not just working in task-based projects like we do it at school, maybe something that is for the future, but in this case, we have to use the tasks they perform every day. Okay. As you can see with all this information, the difference is not like there is a huge gap. The important is that if you feel you want to enter into this new world, so then you need to have a lot of enthusiasm. You need to have a lot of this motivation to learn, to keep updated, to research, and to do all these, okay, in order to satisfy your students' expectations, because these students have a lot of expectations. They come to our classes with a lot of expectations, and we are the ones who have to be just there, observing, getting information, and using this information to have, okay, and to prepare the materials. Something I wanted to share before starting our activities was this information about the 21st century lifelong skills. Why? Just to know if you're familiar. I'm sure you're familiar. I'm sure you all have heard about the critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, etc., etc., etc. You have here. Now, the new thing maybe is that I am presenting here 7 and not the 4, because we are more familiar with the 4. Which ones are the ones that are not part of the 4? Can you tell me? Can you just spot them? Because we always used to refer to the lifelong skills like 4, no? 4 C's, 4 C's. Now, which ones are not in the 4 list? Can you please say? Yes. Okay, one is cross-cultural, cultural understanding, communication, computing and ICT literacy, and then career and learning self-reliance. Cross-cultural understanding, really, really important. Intercultural exchanges, intercultural awareness in business English is basic. But in my experience being a teacher also from General English from EFL, I can tell you that these skills nowadays are more, okay, they have been being applied in the schools and they are worked in the schools, but we need to give more emphasis. We need to give more emphasis. Why? Because I have this tertiary education from people who come from high school, from elementary school, and maybe they are like, when you start working with this kind of strategies or skills, they are like, okay, I'm not used to it. So then we have to start like embracing this as a challenge from general English teachers, from business English teachers, because at the end, it is all like, no, all a chain, because they start with you, they come to tertiary education, and we need to have all the same framework. This is something that I would like to propose to you, okay? Why not working together? Now, I'm going to share some food for thought about these 21st century skills. Please, look at this. Look at this information. It was taken from the World Economic Forum. On one side, you have the 2020 skills, and on the other, 2015. I have highlighted some of them so you can refer and you can observe what happens. The first one is the same. Okay. What about the change from 2015 to 2020? Can you see? Critical thinking and creativity, they were in the place 4th and place 10th, and now they have become part of the top 3. Does it say anything to you? Okay, so then sometimes I think we are underestimating some skills. No, we tend, I am in favor of improving our skills like listening, reading, speaking, and obviously we need to manage the language and to improve that. But what about, okay, inserting these skills while teaching English as a foreign language? I think it is a responsibility as teachers to promote this, because we are, okay, human beings. We are not just language learners. We have to learn using these skills as well. And there is something else before passing the slide. I also highlighted emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence was a skill that was not in 2015, okay, and it appears now. So let's ask ourselves why it appears now. Is it important? Has it become important? Why is it mentioned now? Now, people start talking about emotional intelligence, but we also have references about social intelligence and other kind of intelligences. So we have to read, we have to get informed, guys. It is important. So based on all this, I decided to present some activities, and please, I want you to participate, to be part of it, because that is the good thing about being online. You can write, you can speak, you can do the activities with me, please. These are my adaptable activities. The first one is here. It says Quizlet. Are you familiar with Quizlet? Yes? Are you? Yeah, so then I know this is used obviously for what? Which skill? Which skill is it used for? It says in the topic? Yes, vocabulary. Now, why is it important in business English? Because we have a lot of terms, we have a lot of definitions that are not very familiar because they come from finance, they come from marketing, they come from different areas that are related to this sector. So I recommend you to work with this. For example, in my case, I'm going to share with you this one. I'm sharing mine. If you're looking at my mail, yes, here. Oh, sorry, I cannot find it. Can you see the Quizlet? Hello.
Yes, Marisa, we can see it.
Yes, can you see the Quizlet? Yes, okay, thank you. So, well, here I prepared some cards and all of them are related to financial terms. Okay, so then you are familiar with them. So then my students use them to practice the meanings and also to play some games here, like in Learn and all that. But after doing this, look, after doing these activities, we also pass to, look, these ones with dices. Okay, here we have one that is called the Financial Terms Challenge. So then we can use an online die, of course. You can also use, here I have my dice, and we can use it and we can make a sentence, you can define the term, and they can work in groups in the breakout rooms, and they just can throw the die and then find a word and do this activity. And look, this is something we can also use for our general English lessons. In this case, we have, look at this, the verb tenses challenge, right? So it's the same activity using the dice, but now we are having some expressions and the student has to make the correct sentence using the correct verb tense. So then if you notice, they are similar activities. Okay, and they are similar activities, but they are using different vocabulary, different exercises, okay? The first one, this one, verb tenses challenge, is more about general English, okay? And the other one is for business. Now, I wanted to confirm that you can see the next one. What is the name of my next activity? Can you see? Yes? 5 facts, all right. Tell 5 facts about. Here I'm going to tell you how you can use it with general and how to use it with business English. Look, with general English classes, you can say, for example, tell 5 facts about a very unusual hotel. And you need to use your cell phones, okay? So for this, you're not going to make 5 facts. You're going to do just 2 or 3, okay? But I need some volunteers in this room And I want you to use your cell phone and to find information. Now you can do anything you want. Look, from general English, you can tell me 3 facts about a very unusual hotel, a country, a sports person, the origin of a sort of music, maybe country music, maybe classical music, the origin of an animal, facts about an animal. And if you prefer to take the challenge for business English, you can find information about a multinational company, a famous entrepreneur, a breakthrough or innovation, a massive product, or the concept of design thinking. Okay, I would like to have, I'm going to give you 1 minute, okay, maybe less. Choose one topic. You can choose general, you can choose business, choose just one topic, find the information in the internet, and then you let me know. I need 2 brave volunteers to do this activity. You can unmute if you're ready and you just tell the whole session. We have some seconds left. Teacher should be quick. Okay. I'm not calling because I don't want to be mean. Okay, but I want volunteer. Imagine if I say, okay, you're mean. Okay, oh my God, why? So then I want you to participate freely and spontaneously. Just 2. Just 2 people. Okay, anybody, as I tell you, you can just tell 3 or 2 facts, okay? Don't worry about the 5 because it is when you are in the class and you have more time. Okay, something you would like to share. Okay, Paola, thank you very much. Could you share what was your topic and your facts?
I choose a famous entrepreneur. So I have to tell the name of the person or just the facts?
No, just the 3 facts. Maybe we can guess, and if no, you tell us at the end the name.
Okay. Well, she was a businesswoman she was born in UK. She found, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the internet.
Good,
a beauty shop, products related with beauty. And she was also, she received many awards for her interest in the environment.
Ah, okay, she was interested in environment. Thank you, Paola. Okay, does anybody know? No.
But she was
I think I know. Body Shop, yeah, the founder of the Body Shop.
Oh, yes.
You can Google. Okay, Paola, enlighten us, please. Who is this entrepreneur? Anita Roddick. Yeah, yes, Anita Roddick. Thank you, Paola. Thank you. Then please, I need one more person before passing to the other. Thank you, Paola. Thanks a lot. Yes, Basem, I think.
Yes, I'm talking about a country. Okay, let's make it as a puzzle. The first fact is in Africa.
Okay.
Okay, the second fact, it has a famous river that's called the Nile. Oh. And the last fact that one of the top football players now is from this country. Mo Salah is from this country. It plays in the English Premier League.
Which country is it?
The first letter is Egypt.
Egypt, yes, the Nile, of course.
Yeah, George Southwest know it. Excellent, George.
Are you from Egypt, Basem? Yes?
Yes,
are you?
Yes.
Proudly Egyptian. Thank you. Thank you, Basem. Thank you for your participation. Okay, we have to keep moving. And now we pass to the next. The next one is about storytelling. I told you, I love researching, and this is something that is becoming more and more, we can say, trendy, okay, storytelling. Not only in general English, in business English, in all, in education. So here, what I want to share is this, okay? I want you to do this exercise, very quick. Think of the stories, myths, tales, real life situations, etc., that have an apple as a key element. Think, just think and tell me, let me know through the chat.
An apple.
Yes, for example, which one, I'm going to help, okay? Look at my picture. What can you see in the picture? What is this story about?
Isaac Newton.
Is this, yes? Jermaine? Yeah, Newton, exactly. Isaac Newton, yeah, yes. Do you have another that is related to an apple?
Sleeping Beauty.
Ah, yes, tales, right? Fairy tales, Sleeping Beauty, yes. Okay, Snow White. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Snow White, not Sleeping Beauty, sorry.
What is my picture about?
Adam and Eve.
The first woman,
fruit.
According to
Eve.
Eve, yes. It is a story and it's related to an apple. Another one. Who's he? You can speak, yeah, mute and you can speak. Who's he? Okay, Steve Jobs, right? Apple Company, of course. Another story, yeah, you mentioned this, Snow White. And last one, who knows the last one? What is it? No idea? A prize. A trip to beautiful Peru, if you guess. Okay. Now, no? Well, the golden apple, if you read there, maybe it's very little, but it's the golden apple of discord. Okay, I think you know that the apple of discord, yes? It is from Greek mythology. Okay, there was going to be a ceremony for marriage, yeah? And then came this goddess, okay, called the discord, and she brought this, the golden apple. And there is a story about that. It's a myth, okay? But well, why I asked you this? Because this is my introduction for storytelling. Images are very powerful. Powerful in general English, in business English, indifferent, okay? And my proposal is, look at here, you can use some pictures to create stories, but not long. Here, my activity is called Create a 3-Picture Story. And the rubrics are very, very simple. You just have to evaluate or assess creativity and vocabulary according to the course level. Here, for example, my 3 pictures are a couple, an iPad, and a beautiful kitten. The second, okay, a couple of grandparents, I guess, a rainbow, and a girl with a diploma. So then you give them time and you ask them to create a story. Okay, stories are part of identity, are part of communication. You are enforcing communication skills and also creativity at the same time. If you notice, all of my activities are related to 21st century skills that could be used in general as well in business with certain adaptations and changes, okay? The next one is an activity that I call Imagine It. Here, there is a website, okay? And in this website, you have these pictures that you can click and you just can see there. You can use them, look. These pictures are like a very good springboard to foster curiosity, creativity in the classroom. You can say what happened, what is happening, and what will happen. So then I'm trying to open this, I think. Can you see? Can you see my screen with Imagine It? Yes, okay. So here, for example, you just click on imagine again and you have the 3 questions. What happened, what's happening, and what will happen. You can change just by clicking in here, imagine again. Okay, and you have different pictures. And it's good because they create again stories, not stories, but sentences, ideas, okay, phrases. And that is something very interesting for them to work. Okay. If you want something more colorful, you can also prepare your own pictures here. I am showing you, I have an activity that is for speculating about the past, present, and future. You can have here the useful phrases like the verb might, the young man could, he can't, she must. And here I have some pictures that whenever you choose pictures, please provoke, okay? They have to be thought-provoking. They have to be like something that calls the attention of the student and they can invent, they can deduce, they can predict, okay? So here you have, for example, the girl. I have chosen them just with this purpose, with this intention, not to provoke thinking. Here, for example, the boy with the roses. We are coming to the end, and here, another thing I use in my sessions, business English ones, is commercials. They are commercials, and I want them to have these 3 basic things. They have to be short, creative, and thought-provoking. Now here you're going to watch just, it is 1 minute, it's less than a minute. So I want you to please confirm that you can hear the audio. Can you hear?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, here, for example, the basic thing that says, can you describe the scene is like very obvious. But when you say, what's the message? What's the message is going beyond, right? You have to think, you have to analyze the situation. What is the message in 1 word? Please write in the chat, just in 1 word. What's the message of this commercial? Just put it in 1 word. Yes. Collaboration. Yes. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to share, yes, some people are asking for the link, yes. Just wait a moment, yes, I will do it before finishing. Engagement, okay, happiness. You see different points of view, okay, that come from our learners. And then, okay, they can explain their perspective, why they see this like, okay, the meaning of collaboration or the meaning of happiness or the meaning of engagement. And you have a very, very, okay, rich moment and, okay, an enriching experience with your students. Now, the last one is more to create, right? I don't know if you've noticed, but when we are talking about making questions like this, I always focus on what kind of questions are they, right? If they are, for example, just remember the Bloom taxonomy, in which stage they are. Now, can you describe it? Just recall, remember, kind of simple skill. What is the message is more going deeper, going beyond, analyzing, thinking, trying to find the message that is not properly stated, but is okay in all. And finally, which element could you change? It is recreating. It is basically changing something to make something new, because you know that innovation is not creating something totally new. Innovation is just adding something and make it different. And it also counts as innovation. So this is something I want you to do with your students. Even doesn't matter if they are general or business English, always try to have these moments to provoke, okay, creativity. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, the cultural aspect. Okay, gracias. Thank you very much. The next activity, the last activity, is about cultural awareness. And that is something I want everybody to be involved, because it is, I really like this activity. Okay, next one, next activity is, as I said, about cultural awareness. I want you to read the card. I'm showing you a card. Please read the card, read the situation, and tell me, what would you do? I want you to write in the chat, please. Go for it, guys. This is your situation, 3 options. Pick up one, please. Okay. Yes. B. Good, guys. Okay, C. Yeah, okay. Good. Diversity. Diversity is great. Okay, I'm waiting for a couple of more answers, because that means that you are there, that you are with me. I want to know that you are there with me, please. Okay, so some people said B and C. Nobody mentioned the A. Okay. What do you think? Question, just tell me yes or no. Is there a correct answer? What do you think? Is there a correct answer to this? I mean, you just need to say A, B, or C, or no? Okay, here, thinking, going beyond, Said. He says, okay, where do people eat with hand? Of course, they wash their hands. Okay. Good, this is something interesting. Germaine said, do as the Romans do. When in Rome, do as Romans do. Yeah, something we learn almost by heart. In many, of course, in many places, you know, yes. Of course, there are places where they eat with hands, and that's quite okay. Now, there are no correct answers in this card, okay? As long as everyone can support, can offer their feedback, can say why, and explain and make themselves understood, it is totally fine. Thank you for the answers, for enlightening us with this information. In India, of course, Saudi Arabia, in the South Pacific, Philippines, yes. I know, because I am in a group that works with a lot of intercultural issues, and I learn a lot from them, and I have learned a lot of things, and I think this intercultural and cultural awareness is a great topic, not only for business because they are traveling, no, even for teenagers or for kids, because they are, well, obviously not this question for kids, but I mean, you can adapt, and it is good to help them to broaden their minds, to see what is, okay, out of the window, just, okay, not only their country or their continent, okay? Yeah, you see, now one person says that he didn't know about Philippines. This is what we do, okay? We learn, and we appreciate, and we embrace diversity. This is why I like this kind of activities. Now there is one more. Thank you, Gracia. Here she's sharing. You see, that is the magic. People start sharing. Okay, they don't just keep saying A, B, or C, but they share their own. Okay, in my country it happens, in this occasion. For example, here in Peru, some people like using their hands when they eat roast chicken. Not all of them, but yeah, some people like it and they do it, and it is okay, right? Not in all the dishes, but cultural diversities. Thank you, Rhea. Thank you, Gracia, for your input, for all your information. The next one, because it's our last one. Okay, look here. I want you to write. This is the last thing, please, the last effort. It says, could you share some New Year's traditions from your country, please? We are just doing the first question. Would you share some New Year's traditions from your country? Please, could you write? Okay, I know the topic about eating with the hands is very interesting. I know. Okay, we could continue for ages, I know. But let's go to the other one because we are on time. Okay, could you share some New Year's traditions from your country? Yellow underwear. Yeah, yes, wearing yellow underwear. True. The 12 grapes. Thank you, Elvira. Olenka also, yellow underwear. Yeah, true. Edson, eating panironi for breakfast. Yes, in Peru we do it too. All right, Rhea, we always prepare 12 different kinds. Sorry, I miss it because a lot of people is writing. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for your answers. Now here, just to finish, it says, the question is, do you think traditions and celebrations are important? This is, I mean, like the moment of reflection, and then students say why or why not, no? It's not only sharing, but embracing this diversity. Well, I didn't want to write the conclusions like in bullets. I just chose these two quotes because they are related to creativity, they are related to critical thinking, and that's it. The first one I love is awaken people's curiosity. It is enough to open minds, but do not overload them. Put there just a spark and then let them be. Good teaching is more a giving of right questions than a giving of right answers. As you notice, it is just giving, leading, okay, but not giving the answers. Do not say it is right, it is wrong. Just let them, okay, express. Well, this is my references and my contact details, just in case you want some information, you want to see some materials, you want to ask further questions. This is my mail, and Adaptable Peru Business English SIG is a fan page I have in Facebook for people who are interested in this. And also I share other events, not only business English ones. And well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. I'm writing my mail in the chat, just in case it was very quick, but time is over. And you want to ask for the presentation? Well, that is, let me give you mine, okay. I wrote it in the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for spending this hour with me, for being so participative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marisa. We really appreciate your collaboration. People are asking if you could share your slides.
Yes, I would like to share slides, but I don't,
you can send them to Nancy, or you can send them to me in a PDF.
Exactly, that is what is missing. The PDF is not ready yet, but I can, yeah, I can pass it to a PDF format and send it to Nancy, of course.
They will all receive the recording, the link to the recording of this great session, so you can go over it again. And we really appreciate your collaboration. Thank you, everybody, for being here and for being so participative. Yes. So, and with this, we must conclude today's online program. Today's presentation was titled Bridging the Gap Between Teaching General and Business English in EFL. And of course, special thank you to our wonderful presenter, Marisa Huacho. This concludes the program and you may disconnect by now. Remember to register for the TESOL convention and to become a member of our TESOL organization. Stay connected and see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you, Marisa. Wonderful talk.
Thank you, everybody.
I was working in a company for many years and you made me remember so many things. You are absolutely right.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to share and to be in contact with these beautiful colleagues, okay, this beautiful community.
Yeah, we are.